This is my notebook. It's been sat on, stepped on, almost eaten by my dog, and as far as features, you can write in it, and maybe kill a fly if you throw it hard enough. Which raises the question, why do I use this pocket notebook when we have access to all this technology that can do so much more? Yeah, what's up with that? Believe it or not, this pocket notebook offers 3 things that my phone, no offense, doesn't. In fact, these 3 things are so valuable that I'm willing to set aside technology to have them. But I didn't used to think this way. For most of my life, technology has been synonymous with productivity, advancements, and speed. And yet, I think most of us can agree that technology, in some ways at least, is kind of driving us crazy because of the pace that is now normal. So let me show you the 3 things that a Dollar General 99-cent pocket notebook of all things can do. Or maybe more importantly, what it can't do. Hey Google, you would never steal my attention, would you?
I'm not sure.
Technology is incredible. It allows us to do the unimaginable at incredible speeds. The unfortunate downfall, and one of the things that it's best at, is hijacking our attention. This is the first thing that this pocket notebook offers. It doesn't steal my attention. So let me ask you this, when did we become okay with being interrupted and distracted? Like, imagine that your phone was a person. 3 people just liked your latest post. Hey, just sent you a video about the top 5 ways to be productive. Yeah, that's ironic. Also, I found yet another product that probably reduces middle-aged balding. Really? Too far? Okay. Yo, wanna see a video of 2 donkeys hee-hawing in harmony? I do kind of. I would last a day, max. But it doesn't seem to bother us when it comes from our phone. Often we treat it as if it's normal. But this level of distraction is not normal, and we actually aren't very good at handling it. And this is what made a pocket notebook so appealing when I first came up with the idea. Because I had this thought, what if this pocket notebook could replace even just a tiny bit of my phone usage? It's a method that's allowed me to, even for a moment, step away from the noise. And the things that you can do when you step out of that noise are incredible. To me, this is very much worth selectively replacing my technology. Here's a few things that I use my notebook for instead of technology, at least when I can. Things I need to remember for later, to-do lists, weekly recap, creative brainstorming, processing emotions, and breaking something down into manageable steps. And the most amazing thing started to happen when I did this. I call it organic thinking. It's when brand new ideas and thoughts start popping into your head and you can tell that they aren't from someone else. They're your thoughts, your ideas, and your innovations. And this is the second reason that I carry a pocket notebook. It stimulates organic thinking. And in just a second, I'll show you how to inspire that and kind of do that at will. I noticed this one time when I went on a motorcycle ride with my notebook. As one does. I forget where I went, probably a park or something. Anyway, when I got there, I pulled out my notebook and all of a sudden these brand new thoughts and these brand new ideas just started popping into my head. You've probably had this happen a few times where ideas just start streaming into your mind and you can tell they were brand new, created by you. Maybe you were trying to solve a problem and just all of a sudden, boom, it just clicked. Whenever that starts to happen, I always sit up and pay attention because sometimes the ideas are terrible and you shouldn't listen to them. But other times, they're the perfect solution that you've been searching for. And you're like, I thought of that? All right. Many times I think that we know the answer or the strategy or the correct path, but it's been pushed down by all the other opinions around us. And we spend most of our time trying to sort out everybody else's thoughts and ideas that we can't even hear ourselves. A pocket notebook allows me to slow down whenever I want, clear the noise, and allow my brain to work on the problem, or whatever it is. The way I do this is by kind of manually overriding my thoughts, by asking and writing down questions. Because a thought is the answer to a question, whether we realized that we asked it or not. So this lets you kind of take manual control of your thoughts in a very tangible way and construct them for different outcomes, whether it's a creative project to a YouTube video to what would I ask Joey if I randomly met him on the street. You never know, these things happen. Hey there, Editing Austin here. You know, one of the things I'm realizing about having a pocket notebook that is so cool is that no one can steal my information or access it in any way. Unless they like sneak into my bedroom in the middle of the night, which would be super creepy. That's actually kind of a big deal because our private information is not as safe as we think. For example, about a week ago, I got a letter in the mail from a certain healthcare provider that I no longer use, saying that they were hacked and my full name, address, account information, and medical information had all been stolen and presumably sold to the highest bidder on the internet. And if you've ever gotten spam calls or emails, then your information is out there too. And as bad as all that sounds, like getting my information stolen and stuff, I'm actually not that worried about it. And the reason is because I've been using Aura, which is the sponsor of today's video. Aura scans the internet to find which data brokers are selling my information and automatically works to remove that so that they can't access it. And obviously this reduces the amount of spam calls and emails that I get. But I think more importantly than that, it means that hackers can't access any of my information, and therefore they can't use that to gain control of any of my social media accounts or bank accounts or any other sensitive information. I also get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft, insurance, and way more that I don't even probably realize. And they're so fast. And the reason I know this is because I get notifications all the time from them saying, you know, hey, we noticed this transaction over here, or you linked your bank account over here. Just want to double check, like, did you authorize that? And just like this pocket notebook, it's easy and simple. And best of all, you're not gonna break your bank account. So all that to say, I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to aura.com/Austin Schrock to start your 2-week free trial. It's also linked down in the description. Okay, so a little recap before I tell you the most important point. So far we've identified that my pocket notebook basically can't hijack my attention. I mean, what am I gonna do? Count the number of lines on the page? And since it doesn't hijack my attention, it's one of the best places to spark number 2, which is organic thinking. And I do that by manually asking better questions, which in turn creates better and newer answers, AKA thoughts and ideas. Now, what could possibly be added to a anti-attention hijacking, organic thinking stimulation utensil? Tool? I don't know, what would you call this thing? Well, there's one more thing, and I call it the brain filter. You've probably heard of a brain dump, right? Well, this is a brain dump's second cousin once removed that's just better. Yeah. Something I've noticed recently is I'm a pretty avid information hoarder. It's not uncommon for me to take pages of notes on a book or watch a YouTube video and this is gonna change my life. And so I download the transcript and file it away on Notion just in case I need it. And the thing is, I basically never go back and use that information. And I get asked this a lot, like, how do you go back and find things in your notebook? Like, you can't search anything, so how do you go and find things that you wrote down? And if I'm being honest, just like that YouTube video that's gonna change my life, most of what I write, I don't need or use. Maybe like 3% are things that I actually come back to and put into my Notion setup for long-term storage. So I use my notebook as a method of filtering my thoughts and ideas to find the 2 to 3% that actually matters. Because it is so much better to have a small amount of very condensed knowledge than a sea of information where the key points are all over creation. I can read these 3 pages and say, okay, yeah, these 2 sentences here kind of capture the essence of this. So let's put that somewhere where I can use them. The fact that I can't edit my notebook forces me to reprocess it and put it in different words, which in and of itself condenses and edits out the things that I don't need. You have amazing ideas, but they're often smothered and clouded in a sea of thoughts and information. Information is not power, it is potential power. It can liberate you, and it can also smother you. And I found for me that this method works very well for filtering out what isn't essential. So I'm never going to stop using technology. It does incredible things. Although I did buy a typewriter, so we'll see where that goes. But I'm going to use it for what it does best and continue searching for replacements for what it doesn't do so great. By the way, if you want to see behind the curtain a bit as to how this video was made, I made a video recording each part of the process as I went, where I kind of walk you through what I'm thinking as I go. I'll be posting it in the community tab as an unlisted video for my subscribers and also on my Patreon if you follow me over there.